Hey everyone, welcome to Taisen Analyzes Reddit. Today's video is from ProRevenge and it's about why you should mess with a real big husky, or real big Toby, and its owner. Now, let's begin. It's been long enough and I doubt they're going to come after me, so here it goes. I adopted a full-bred husky in the Pacific Northwest. We named him Toby, but after a while, he developed the name Real Big Toby. He wasn't a huge husky or Malamute, but boy, did he look beautiful. And boy, was his personality real big. He had one blue eye and one brown eye, which never failed to trip people out. On top of that, he was a huge ham, loved attention, and would actually talk to you about how his day was going. It got to the point where it was kind of stupid to put him on a leash. I would tell him to stay when I went into class, for example, and he'd be passed out or getting the chicks to scratch his belly when I came out. Every time. The dean of the college even knew him on a first name basis and started to bring his dog in to work after watching Real Big Toby do his thing. At the time, I lived in a mountain town, attended college, and was an avid mountain biker, so having a dog that would happily and easily do 30 miles in a day was cool. He would follow us everywhere we went. My mountain bike was my only source of transportation, so we became very in tune with one another. He was a husky, after all, so you could tell when he ran that this was exactly what he was born to do. Toby was such a super good boy. He listened, paid attention, and never left my side. He had a seat designated for him on the deck at the local coffee shop, which meant you had to walk by him and try to resist giving him a scratch if you wanted to go outside. It got to the point where just about everyone in this fairly small town got to know Toby on a first name basis. Every once in a while, on mountain bike runs, we would get separated or Toby would just get sidetracked on the way down the hill. It was such a small town that, in the few times it happened, he was back with me by the end of the day. The police all knew him from around town, the pound knew him, so if anyone called, they'd just give them my number. One day, it happened again. He got lost on the way down the hill. Only this time, he didn't come back. No call, nothing, for days. It got to the point where I started asking around town. If you ever live in a small town, you know it's hard to keep a secret. After about a week, a friend says he saw Toby and tracked the guy down and gave him a number. He never called. After searching, trying to find this guy, I finally got a breakthrough. He worked at the college. Now, I am aware how stupid people can be when they receive an animal. Toby was ripped. You could see his muscles bulging out of his fur. He didn't have an ounce of fat on him because, you guessed it, he was in excellent shape. I fed him mostly a raw diet, and what kibble he did get was the best you could buy. The first thing out of this guy's mouth was to tell me that he's keeping my dog. You don't take care of him. You don't even feed him, and he's such a good dog. He'll be better off with me, he said. I became enraged. Well, like I mentioned, he worked at the school I attended. I also mentioned the dean hammed it up with Toby on a nearly daily basis. I didn't mention I had the dean's home number, though, so a call Saturday morning resulted in Toby being returned to me later that day. This guy had the nerve to, along with Toby, bring me a 50-pound bag of the idiot store brand of dog food you can buy. I bought you this so you could feed him. Rage. Come to find out, this guy was in charge of a research project for the school. It was very easy to figure out where his office was. I went to his office with a plan of returning his food and chewing him out in front of his colleagues. He wasn't at his desk, so I did the most natural thing I could possibly do. I turned the 50-pound bag of dog food upside down on his desk, computer, stacks of papers, to the point where it formed a perfect mountain on top of his keyboard. Truly an awesome sight. Knowing loose lips sink ships, I didn't tell anyone but my close friends. The school brought misconduct charges against me. The hearing was in front of a board of other students and staff, and well, I don't know what happened to the bag of dog food. I was telling the story to a bunch of guys, and one of them asked me for the bag. That's the last I saw it. All charges were dropped. The a-hole that tried to steal real big Toby had it much, much worse. 50 freaking pounds of dog food on top of your research project, as it stands out, doesn't bode well with management. For reasons unknown, 2 days later, he was fired from the college. Not only did they fire him, but put a restraining order on him and had to change the locks to the building. Don't mess with real big Toby. And to add to that, don't mess with real big Toby's owner. I just can't believe how the guy was pretty much telling the user how he doesn't take care of Toby, he doesn't even feed him, and that he's gonna take Toby since he can't even do such a task in that effect, and that he's better off with him. And then not only that, when he does return Toby to the user, he gives him 50 pounds of some of the worst dog brand food there is out there. I actually wonder what brand it was, if it was that bad. And it's also great how you was able to get your revenge. And you know, this makes me wonder if there's actually an entitled workers or entitled people on Reddit. Since it's such a huge platform, there's so many subreddits. There probably is, but just haven't been able to discover it as of yet. But I want to thank the user GuelaPapyrus for letting me use the story, and I will provide a link to the story as well as the profile within the description box. And this is Taisen. Like, share, and subscribe. Comment as well. Check the notifications. If the notifications isn't working, you can also check your subscription feed so you will see my video once it's dropped. And I will see you next time.